honestly, there's so many things happening at once. It's insane how much drama they've all dragged her into when she's done nothing except release a model. Welcome back, my delinquents. So we have another situation of the VTuber community turning into Jormungandr, the world serpent, eating its own tail here, as in the VTuber community is eating itself in another drama, which came from the most unlikely source here, a release of a model which started off very positive, specifically a customizable model, some regarding it the best customizable model on the market to date, by Sukai, who is a model artist. You may be asking yourself, Del, how did this turn into a giant drama? Wouldn't you like to know? And I'm going to tell you, because this is a crazy one. From anything from stealing of the model, whinging, racism, entitlement. It just goes on, and I will try and get this done in one video, but we will see how it goes. But you don't have to believe me on the harassment this VTuber artist got, or the absolute slamming they got for this, but you don't have to believe me. I'm going to show you. Let's get into it, my delinquents. I'm going to start you from the beginning here of her first post from Sukai releasing the model, because we only had probably 2 to 3 days of the praise and the wow and the using of this model that it deserved. And we will try and go in timeline as per usual, but I guarantee nothing. And so this model was released by Sukai. Very gorgeous, very customizable, and people took to it really well because it was selling, I think, 180 Australian. I think I have it right here. 115 euros, which I think transfers to around 150 to 180. This will become relevant that it sold 2,000 model things just on Ko-Fi alone, because a lot of people bring this up and are getting kind of greedy when it comes to releasing these, because if you can math that, 115 euros times 2,000, that's a lot of money. That comes up later. That's not the major part of this. And this starts off first and foremost with a lot of praise onto this model because it is so customizable. It is insane. Even I looked at it and I was like, damn girl, if I didn't have a model debut coming literally next month, I'd be tempted. But I actually have a custom one coming that I've been working on for 6 months, so let's go. But I love this for so many people. Everything is getting easier to make, funner to do, adding layers. But Sukai did spend years making this, underlying that. These are deserved sales because she spent literally years of commitment making this model and the pieces to it. And we got a lot of feedback from creators. This is when it stays positive for the first 2 days, and it's gonna sadly dissolve into something feral really quickly. And we probably should have had more time on the positive from Sens here, who is a male VTuber. This is incredible. Have you ever thought of doing a masculine version? Then when I get asked about good starter models thousands of times a week, I can just refer both of yours. I'm not very experienced in drawing masculine people. That's actually very common. People tend to take either sides. They prefer feminine or male, unless they're a manga or a webtoon artist. But even then, you can see they lean in one direction. They have slightly more masculine women or slightly more feminine men, because that's their preference. But someone has already came out with the idea of a male one that they've been working on. So the sheer amount of option is insane. I thought I was nearing the end of them and looked and saw there was still 20 seconds left of the video. There is so many variants to this model. It's insane. It's a fantastic starter model. The quality is fantastic. But someone brings up later on that they hate that everyone is using this, and we're going to get into it. That is something to take into mind when something becomes popular. You will see a lot of people of the same using it, and that's just normal. From Silverveil, this is so cool. You can tell how much work and love went into this. Sukai is incredibly talented, and this is such a great option for VTubers who can't afford a complete custom model. The level of detailed customization is crazy. She's so gorgeous. Yes, because realistically, this is not much different price than most customizables or most non-unique models like this. I paid, I think, around 80 Australian for my first 3D, which I customized into this beauty right here, and my maid and stuff like that. That's around the price, sometimes up to 200, I would say. So it's not unheard of. Yes, there was a few people whinging that they just can't afford it, and that's the thing. If you can't afford $100 for a model, you can't start VTubing yet. I'm sorry, guys. Try and find a free one. Buy the lower quality, save some money, get the higher quality, because VTubing is not an entitlement, which we go into later. But let's go into the next part of the story, because I am expecting this to be a doozy. I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to be long. It's honestly so amazing seeing everyone use the same model to make it completely one of a kind, Kyone. And look what she did with this. She made it look so similar to her own model here. Look at this. I need to turn the music off because that's not copyright. But look at her model, and look how close she gets it to her style just from the hair and all the assets and how easy it goes on. Amazing. And I wanted to keep this one to show the positivity that was actually around on the first couple of days, because this is around the 18th-ish and the model came out on the 15th-ish? 15th, yes, that's correct. And this is when things go awry. So this is 18 and so is this. So we'll go with these comments that came out around the 18th. I think I have more in here somewhere that goes into Sukai's response. And I'm going to start with the random backlashes before we go into the racism and other stuff like that, because this started first. Mario, puppy cat racer god, 010 rage rate. Generally, what was the point of saying this out loud? You can't insult Sukai and her hundreds of hours of hard work, then compliment her to save face. Listen, 1% of VTubers have this model. You've seen it a lot because it's new and good. Let's people enjoy it. This is for Vina, Mami Shark. I'm all for the new customizable model. It's gorgeous and I want her too, but it's been so overused and now you all look the same. It's like I keep seeing the same person on my timeline. This happens anytime a model really pops off. But the thing is, what is she trying to say here? I want to use it so you don't use it? Or is she just trying to say well, you're not unique anymore? Like, It's like, why did this need to be said? There's one thing if you saw it around for 6 months or something, but come on. And this kind of is the vibe that's going around. This is like one of the first complaints that come from this. Next to it, people saying it's overpriced or I just can't afford it and I deserve it and stuff, and some entitlement, which is kind of crazy. And some racism remarks because there is no, at the moment, people of color hair customizers in there. You have skin tone change and all that stuff like that, but no particularly curly hair options, because Sukai makes a post about this talking about how she's hired someone for it, which I will get up. Here we go. So this goes into the post and I will go into the other stuff in here because honestly there's so many things happening at once. It's insane how much drama they've all dragged her into when she's done nothing except release a model and it be popular. I feel the need to address this. The reason why there's no POC hairstyles on the model on release, I just couldn't draw them into a certain level of quality that was passable for release before release. I didn't have the funds to commission someone else to do it for me, and this goes into she's commissioning someone. So I'm asking someone else to draw the hair. If you want me to draw it, then I wouldn't be able to release POC hair until way later in the year. I don't want to make you guys wait that long. Please cut me some slack. I try and give people what they want. The reason why I block some people is because they were being hostile towards me and spun my words to paint me in a bad picture. You cannot hold that against me. This is all I have to say on the matter. Thank you for reading. I think that's completely fine, especially when she doesn't feel like the quality she does it in yet matches the rest of the model, and it's not fair. I think it's completely fine to go find someone who specializes in that or is a professional already at that, instead of making people wait like a year when she thinks it matches the quality of the other assets, because she doesn't think it's fair that those assets are of lower quality just because of her skill level. People do seem to take this in a bad way, and it sparks another debate about racism in the community, and it's some people actually being racist. I'm not gonna lie to you, not Sukai, but some people backlashing saying some unfortunate words on this, honestly. Like, I can't properly describe it. I'm gonna have to show you. So that's the thing. Sukai isn't racist. Some people are blowing her, not doing it herself, completely out of proportion, but some people's, like, feedback on this and the way they defend it is a bit weird, in my opinion, and I kind of think made this worse, the situation worse. Okay, so I was looking specifically for this post to go into the whole, not fans, but other people on Twitter making this just worse with their wording and having to have their 2 cents on it. Honestly, if drawing a POC cut is harder, then you're not an artist. That's all there is to it. I would not agree 100%. On there, like, every artist has their strengths. Problem I've always had at the beginning of my art is my work can look washed out, and I have to really fight against that. And depending on your skills, that is something you have to work on, and that is something I've been working on for years. So some parts of it I find difficult, but to be fair, I find making colors brighter something I'm constantly trying to work with. So I can understand that part of it. So I automatically mean just because you find one thing harder, you're not an artist, because artists tend to gravitate to things they find easy. And whatever you work on the most, you find easy. It's like the whole thing of, oh, let me draw someone face on. No, they're half turned because that's what I've done the most, and everything else looks like shit. Sometimes it is just like that. But I'm not going to go into Sky Uke abuser, so I'm just gonna say 100% massive otaku. This wording is weird, and this is the kind of stuff that was kind of making the situation worse. Drawing POC is harder than drawing normal people. You won't understand because you're not an artist. The wording here that really rubs it the wrong way, and I agree with this, normal people. What the fuck does that mean? What the hell, bro? Everyone's people, everyone's a normal person. I can understand saying I've just like focused it on other crap and I've really ignored certain aspects of coloring and stuff, so I'm dog crap at it or whatever, but saying normal people is weird. That language is gross. And yes, I do think you should learn. That's the upside of art. When you realize you have a weakness, you should try and improve upon that. How do I even unpack that? Yes, I would say that is a weird thing, and this kind of attitude has kind of just escalated the situation even worse. From Static Tokyo, the fuck they mean harder, and then drawing normal people. He's tweaking. Yeah, it is such a weird and slightly revealing like wording on that. So yeah, that is the kind of like responses that's kind of made this escalate worse, because everyone complains online, that's fair. But I would say people going directly against Sukai about this is weird, in my opinion. Okay, so we're going to go into the next part that comes out around the same time, is Sukai kind of addressing this, because they're getting a lot of focus on them for all this, and a lot of backlash, and this is like escalating out of control really quickly with racism, entitlement, and we're gonna see in a bit into this stealing. So let's unpack this. From Sukai, this model release was a blessing but also a curse. I'm trying to make as many people happy as possible, but I still get hate. I'm called racist, bigot. I don't just have money for every year of work. What can I do to make this things better? I think it's impossible. It is impossible, because people are, one, saying you don't deserve the money for all that work because they're jealous. They're jealous about the sheer amount of money made. So there's fees and stuff like that off there, but sometimes you're lucky, especially with artwork. That's the upside of being an artist. Sometimes you make trash money, sometimes you make great money. Investment into an idea, and sometimes it pays off. And the other stuff is completely blow out of proportion just because she released it with certain things. Since she released it with like 10 times the amount of stuff most people, because most people keep it like a couple skin tones and that's about it, not particularly so many hair options even. From Sens, I'm a POC and I am commonly tell you anyone else who is angry at you is entitled little crybaby bitch. Wipe your tears with the money you're making. Your model's amazing success. You're legit working to make it happen. Ignore them, queen. Rosie, if I started VTubing and something like this exists, I would be over the moon for it. I think there is just brain rot NPCs that exist to be upset at anything that uplifts others. Like Xero Sans, you can make things better because they are unreasonable and a lot. Because to be honest, your energy is better spent on people who are reasonable, I think, because the unkind people are not using any logic or reason to be upset with you. There is no world where you could make them unhappy. They have issues with themselves. Thanks for making things for everyone. I positively affect so many people. I would agree the release of this model is overly positive in general. It's a good release, it's good work, and people are having fun, having a good time, and isn't that what art's really about? And I'm gonna go into this a bit too, because there's a slight like side thing to giveaway drama. She has banned giveaways on this item because people were kind of stealing it. I don't know as a statement or just they're greedy, cheap motherfuckers. So this happened on the 18th too, around the same time, and you can really say Sukai's just getting it from a land. I will link Sukai below so you can guys give them, one, find this beautiful model, but two, give some love. She's had it rough this February. It went really good to horribly bad so quickly. From now on, giveaways for my model are against TOS. People are abusing it, and I will not allow any more giveaways. So a lot of people, VTubers in general or artists, were doing giveaways for their models, or mainly VTubers, so people could get the model that couldn't afford it, and they were doing like promos, blah blah blah, off it. But Sukai has changed it that they will only do giveaways themselves, because I think what happened, I will read through this, I don't know if it was from this post or a different post someone made, people were giving away the direct files and not giving money for them to buy it, which is against the rules with most models, okay? You're not supposed to do that. Okay, you don't own it. There's always some that ruin the fun for others by doing illegal things. I'm sorry. If you entered the giveaway and the hoster is trying to send you the files directly instead of giving you the money to buy it yourself, it is against TOS. Please do the right thing and decline the files and report the person to me. Instead, I will be the only one hosting giveaways from now on. If you see a giveaway from another user, it is against TOS. Thank you. That is why mostly artists you have to put in an email or address to be the owner of it, so they can check up on it to see who bought it, pretty much, because sometimes this does happen and it's rude as fuck. I will do a giveaway within the next week or so. I will personally put money towards it, but if you're wanting to be a tagged sponsor, I can take donations here on Ko-Fi. From Raymine, VTuber, there's always a few who ruin it for the many. It's always a sad thing to hear, and no one ever deserves that. For those of us who already entered some, what is your stance on the giveaways that are already underway? Are you okay with those continues and not any new? And honestly, that's the frustrating part about this, is that a lot of people are trying to do good with these. I've seen some giveaways for games and stuff. And so they can be a lot of fun and be helpful to the communities. And of course, someone ruins it by being a cheap son of a bitch or just looking for clout. Of course, because it's Twitter. But this has some good comments on what people were saying. Such F-heads, I have been blocking anyone giving Sukai shit for being racist and fatphobic for the model she put out. Y'all are really that freaking stupid. How do you even function day to day? Okay, I don't know if I remember any fatphobic that I could find, but I didn't read all of these, so we'll see. I don't get commissioned to draw POC characters. There's a reason for that. If people don't see representations of self and your examples, they won't know if you can correctly draw their features. Put some POC representation in your portfolio and you'd see a difference. That's actually a fair bit of advice, I would say, that a lot of people, that's why it's good to have a lot of stuff in your portfolio, because people like to see visually that you can do what they want, so it's good to have a lot of different examples. I think we should let people draw what they want, in my opinion. Yes, that's fair. You can draw what you want too, but you can't expect people to commission you if you haven't proven or made it look like you can do it, because if commission work is paid work. So you have to kind of give a good rounded portfolio, I would say, if you're trying to sell work. But it's very different than personal work, in my opinion. It depends what the outcome you want is here. For examples, professionals should have POC examples and all sorts of, but if someone wants to only draw anime pale girls, it's their right to do so. Exactly. If you're a professional, you should show your portfolio is well-rounded. If you're just doing it for fun, just draw what you like. It's just art. Artists have every right to do what they want with their art. Yes, but this post isn't about how dare they not be able to draw what I want. This post is about people going to find an artist, but I don't see anything in the portfolio that is close to what they need. Directly quoted Sukai responding to people being upset over lack of piece of hair. ETC, it's a subtweet. I have reading comprehension about, I can't read the other part here, but so really what they're saying isn't horribly bad, but they've put it to Sukai for some reason, which is weird when the portfolio was kind of different. I don't know how these people are connecting this to Sukai. In this post, because it was already really nasty racist quote, and I will not tolerate that shit on my post. I will admit I was aggressive. I should not have targeted my freshers directly at Sukai. She has only the best intentions and does amazing work, as I have said multiple times before. I'm sorry for the not so vague tweak. I really do respect your work. I have been following and supporting you for years. I let momentary frustration get to me, and I will admit I'm a bit short-tempered and spicy, and it got to the best of me here. Spicy is supposed to like lower that short-tempered is a bad personality trait, but I feel like a lot of people are so quick to the trigger online. Take a breather, guys, and think about it. I'm just frustrated by the fact that so many people chose not to learn how to draw PWC features because it's hard or makes them uncomfortable. This is rooted in problematic bias that we need to address in order to improve the treatment of PWC people. By the way, I handled an attempt at advocacy was short-sighted. Restricted, I will admit fault to that. My intention was good, but the implementation was not. Thanks for holding me accountable. I think a lot of people have to realize too that a lot of artists are scared shitless too of sometimes getting outside of their bubble of work, especially with how aggressive the art community, because I think a lot of people outside of the art community is unaware of how much you get frickin' crucified sometimes in it if you fuck up. It's worse than VTubing if you can imagine. The praise is good, but once you fuck up, you are doomed. I think a lot of people outside of the art community has this idea that artists can learn to do everything. Most artists specialize, just like in most careers. Moving on to the next part, though, because this is getting crazy. It's from Mad Squid. This model has only been out 3 days. Instead of celebrating her success, she's been forced to do damage control. Really don't deserve nice things. And that's the thing. By this point, because this is the 19th, you can't do giveaways with the models. She's having to do apologies, all that stuff. She's getting told she's fatphobic, racist, greedy, etc. It has gone to crap really quickly at this point. Hey, and this is when the art community really starts getting into it, because this has started turning into another debate about the validity of artists and how important they are and do they deserve their money and stuff, because of course it's turned into that every single freaking time. Hey, reminder to the VTuber community, artists are your backbone. Without any of them, you wouldn't have that fancy model. Maybe respect them and stop trying to take shortcuts. Thanks. Yes, guys, you're not entitled to free work. You're not entitled to get stuff for free. You're not entitled to the hard work and sweat and tears of another person to make your life easier. That's common sense, guys. Just artists are people too. Another from Crony. I'm sorry, but if you start drama over the Sukai model, I'm going to assume you're a major loser. Honestly, fair and kind of based. A talented creator worked hard for a year to create an affordable model and you be harassed by your ungrateful asses. Yes, exactly, and this is the weirdest harassment campaign I've ever seen in at the turn that's gone crazy, because she did nothing but good things here, and it went so feral. This person from Hayoteo, a VTuber, this person spends over a year of their time working on customizing a model for the community, and then motherfucking main characters just can't help themselves from going, but what about me? I hate it here. I actually freaking hate it here. Yeah, I do have to agree with this. It's probably a little bit main character syndrome, in my opinion, that a lot of people think everything should be tailored to them. Because it wasn't even just the POC colored, the entitlement, the free, or it's overpriced. A lot of people are just unhappy because it didn't specifically appeal to them in every aspect. And it's just so much entitlement, it's insane. And going back to the Fina stuff that apparently keep going down, people kept talking about because apparently they tried to brush it up after. I don't know, Fina, I'm not going to comment on this. This is just one that keeps going around with all this stuff that is contributing to this drama and harassment. Here's a hot take: shut the frick up. It's super tone deaf and insulting to say something like this. Not everyone has the means or privilege to be able to afford custom-made model, and Tsukai did her best to make a model that would allow for people to look different and unique. So to have the audacity to sit there and discredit the work and effort leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. Fina, disrespectfully get bent. I would say a bit aggressive, but I understand this is like getting to a frustrated level for a lot of people. Then we go into more people. Lager, sorry if I'm saying your name here wrong. Saying your name here wrong. Lager, Eldenwood. We are tired of you about asking for artwork. I ain't no racism like European racism. Okay, from Usagi art. Not every artist practices how to draw different traits. Art is a skill. We learn to draw different traits by practicing, but artists is not confident in drawing certain traits yet. You get offended. If they draw them but slightly wrong, you get offended. We are tired of you. So, as you can see, there is a lot of back and forths here. I would say that it's up to an artist how much they draw traits and how much they like certain things here. But it's kind of like a back and forth here. Some people are over entitled because not everyone has to learn everything about art. It's almost impossible. But you shouldn't just avoid certain things because you don't like them, or you're like, oh, or say they have no right to be upset. They don't see it as much, because I don't think that's fair either. Because a lot of people do like to see themselves in art or possibilities, especially when they have to go through commission work and there is just not as many available of what they would like. It becomes frustrating. So I think it's good to understand people's emotions on it, because some are justifiable here, that it can suck. I don't fully agree with it. It's an excuse saying it's a skill issue. Like, oh, it's a skill issue where you should know how to draw it by now. Not every artist is the same people, and we all have skill issues for different parts of art. So you should be understanding not everyone will know everything, but it's fine for you to be upset that there's not enough options of the characteristics you would like. That's completely fair too. But have a little bit of equal understanding for artists that they are maybe just starting their art journey, maybe in the middle, etc., or they're just a hobbyist and they're not looking to be a pro, so they don't know everything about art. We're just going to read out the last two posts from Tsukai on this entire situation as we've gone through the saga. Sorry for the very long video. It's a bag of mixed emotions. It's exciting, it's exhausting, and it makes my heart feel fluffy and warm when I see people's customizations. I get sad when people send me hate. It's not all bad. I won't let it discourage me from keep going. Very sweet. Thank you everyone for the kind messages. I see you. I appreciate you. I promise I'm not only focusing on the bad feedback. My heart is full due to people enjoying the model. My server is full of people helping each other out. Every kind of action matters and doesn't go unnoticed. Very sweet. And I'm glad to see that Tsukai is still in a good place, but I wish this really didn't happen. But what do you think, my delinquents? Do you think this was just an unfair overreaction? Do you think people just got together in this feralness? Do you think some people made some good points? I don't think everyone was completely unjustified on wanting characteristics when they were acting fair about it, going, oh, it'll be coming later, that's great, but I wish I had it now, that's fair. But getting entitled about it is rude. I would say the people that stole stuff, F them. Okay, stealing from artists is rude, especially seeing it wasn't exactly an unreasonable price. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I know I may have seemed not too harsh on these people here, but I wanted to keep it more of what was happening than my opinion on this one. Because I do think art is very subjective, but I don't think there is any good unless someone is like literally being a horrendous a-hole to harass someone, especially when they've done nothing but kind things like Suka has in this situation. And I'm gonna be honest, entitlement with art really grinds my gears, and it's incredibly frustrating. But let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell, check out new videos on the Patreon with the Taku channel, the React channel, and all that fun stuff. I'll catch you next time, my delinquents.
In a world of neon lights, till the body shines so bright, clumsy hot flood holds her crown, busting sassy folks she's found. Ears perk up a burp in sight, with a smile she takes the fight. Buns and balls won't break her stride, caring heart she won't hide.